All right, welcome everybody to this special pop-up Zoom. I'm really proud of everybody who made it here. You had to do something to get here more than just like click on a Zoom link. So that's amazing. And you should really feel proud and honor what steps you took, because really what this is like an imprinting process. I gave this metaphor on another call I did recently about if you're familiar with horses at all, and it's same with human babies, but for some reason with the horses is where I first really heard it, is how if you hold a horse and give it love and attention in the first hours of its life, it becomes completely tame and you know, in a way that if you then try to go back and do the work to tame it later, you have to do so much more work. So I actually had a horse that was born on our land, and I held her literally for 6 hours when she was first born. I played my ukulele for her. I fell asleep with her between her mother's legs. And she is like the world's sweetest horse in the world. People are always like, this horse is amazing. And we haven't really done that much training with her, but that imprinting process made such a difference. So it's the same thing with coming in and following these steps. It has that imprint on us, like, oh, if we just do these things, create these habits, become second nature, we turn around and support other support other people to do the same, and that duplication process just sinks in and becomes easy peasy, and that's what creates the residual income. So some of the people on this call had already done these steps at the beginning of the month. Drop a 1 in the comments if that's you. And some of the people felt the spark when there was an invitation to come to this call with those qualifications, and all of a sudden it was like this renewed reason to jump into action and create those. So if that's you, if you're somebody who just in this past couple of days completed those steps, drop a 2 in the comments. And it's just good to see where we're at, and to also realize like every day is a great day to relaunch our business if it isn't something that we've done in the past. And this is not only for you, but this is how you're going to be mentoring all the people that you come in. So welcome, because everybody here is a leader of sorts. If you've taken those steps, if you've treated your business like a business and committed to yourself by showing up for those steps, you are in leadership, even if that's growing leadership. It means that you're committing to this. So those are the steps that get us to our goals, our bigger goals, our why. And that's really what all of this is about, is taking our bigger why, we all have the big massive why, and chunking it down to smaller actionable steps. Even if it's down to a month goal, we have like our year goal we put on the action plan, our 3-month goal, our monthly rank goal and income goal, and then even down to like, what am I doing this week to achieve that month goal? So some of you may already be having done this your whole life or in other professions. And for some of you, this whole idea of doing goal setting and having that structure is new. And it's so awesome. It's so awesome, especially if you have big dreams like myself. I was actually one of those people who, I'm such a visionary, I have such a huge imagination, that I had created this whole fantasy life for myself decades ago, but without knowing the structure and the goal setting tool to achieve it, it started to overwhelm me. I started to feel like burdened by these massive dreams and like a big failure. So if anybody can relate to that, drop a 3. Some people are the other end of the spectrum. Like they don't even know how to dream big. They've totally accepted and settled for less. And this is a new opportunity to really expand that vision and start to dream and then take those. So drop a 4 if that's you. If you're like, whoa, I never even like saw myself as worthy or capable of receiving and manifesting on this level. So yeah, it's just great to see where we're at in this process. Okay, a lot of threes like me, yeah, right? It's overwhelming. Oh my gosh. Like I see it. I see the utopia this world can be. And it's gonna come in stages and there's steps to it. So that's the first thing. So the first, so yeah, just a big, especially because people are still jumping on, a big congratulations to everybody for what you did to get here. And in a lot of senses, that's a huge chunk of what it's going to take you to get to your goals. Is just what you've already done to get here. Following those simple action steps. First of them, we all create our action plan, which is coupled with something called a vision statement. We don't really talk so much about that, but you can ask your upline to tag you if you haven't already seen how to create a vision statement. But it's that powerful manifestation language where you're writing your rank goal as if you've already achieved it, and even adding emotion to that. Like I am feeling that. I am so happy and grateful now that I am 3-star crown by June 30th, 2020. And like really feeling that and making that, opening up that pathway of achieving it. So action plan, vision statement, it's kind of one and the same. Some people just kind of lump it together. I mean, we post it together, but if you really want to get into that deeper work of manifestation language, you can learn about how to do the vision statement. It's taken from the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, written back in the 1930s. So tried and true money-making language. So action plan, vision statement, we always place our order for the month on the first of the month. There's many reasons for this. It opens you up to being able to see the back office in another way. It opens you up to starting to receive commissions that Friday. It's also a commitment to our upline. So when we start, when you come in, you know, sometimes at the beginning we're like, oh my gosh, the points reset, I'm back at 0. But you'll see that as you grow in rank on your day 1 with everybody in your team ordering on the first of the month, you're already at certain ranks, like on day 1. And that's amazing, right? So, okay, so if anybody has anybody looking for a link, obviously you have it, and if you can send it, that would be awesome. Thank you. So action plan, vision statement, first of the month order. And I know that I didn't require people to do first of the month order to be on this call. So you can just drop in with yourself, see where you're at, know that this is a habit that we want to cultivate. In your first full month of the business, sometimes we can be like, well, I have to make another order. Oh my gosh, I just ordered at the end of last month. And I get that. And you're welcome to like play with that first month as you need to. And remember that you're going to want to place an order at least, you know, at a certain point this month so that you don't run out of product. Drop a 5 in the comments if you have run out of product and suffered. If you know that feeling of like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I let that happen, like never again. I've totally been there. And, you know, as much as I had my resistance, like, I don't want to have to rely on powders and pills. I am so thankful for the way that I feel having these allies in my life. And thankfully, it isn't something that I do anymore. And there's always something, even if it's, you're, you know, mixing it up is good, but definitely it is super fuel. So you're going to want to place your order for, you know, at least at some point this month. And then going forward, you're just going to create that habit. And I've been there where like, it's hard to place a minimum order. I totally have empathy for that. It becomes part of your why. And just know that when you stick with it, that will be a story in the past. So drop a 6 if that's something that you want to achieve. Okay, so then the fourth thing is the tracker sheet. So I am so excited that everybody here whether you were in the habit of a tracker sheet or not before this call, has now had the experience of posting your tracker sheet. That's really your way of saying, I'm committed to this. Maybe I haven't gotten on board with a tracker sheet yet, but I'm going to take this step. Even if you posted an empty tracker sheet, you made that commitment, you made that decision to stand for yourself. And even if it's uncomfortable, you made that decision to show up for yourself. So congratulations on that. And those are the 4 things that's the system. You're just going to we're going to do that every month. We're going to do the tracker each week. We're going to fill the tracker out. And there's so many little details in the tracker. Ashley Castro is going to do an amazing call on Monday. So come, bring your people, your new people, to go over all the pieces of the tracker sheet. Like even, going to bed every night, knowing where your points are each night, that can be a whole new habit to create. I remember being on a call once and hearing somebody say, every morning I check my points and every night before bed I check my points. And I was like, whoa, I've never done that before. And I started doing it, and it made such a difference of being present with my pace. Okay, so let me get back to my notes here. And I'm guessing, yeah, anybody who can help send out links is super appreciated. So this is the experience of being on a run. Like this call right here, we're really tightening the weave of our fabric as a team. You connected with your own goals, you connected with your own mini team, you connected with your own business. So it's really exciting. And this isn't gonna be like a major call. We're just gonna highlight some really key stuff, and I'm gonna open it up for some really, anything that people really wanna get some live coaching with. But drop a 7 in the comments if you know the feeling of being on a run. So when we're on a run, it's different. Not every month are we on a run. Sometimes it can feel that way. And some months we're gonna run more committed than others. When we meet, so what is today, the 12th or something? When we meet, towards the beginning of the month, like we are right now, and jumpstart that idea of a run, it is so much more impactful than when often what can happen is the beginning of the month is all exciting. We're posting our goals. Yay, I'm going for this. And then 3 weeks can go by, and all of a sudden it's the end of the month and it's oh my God, I got to get my goal. And the last week is all crazy and hectic and stressful. It can be fun. And a lot of times people are oh my gosh, I don't want to do it that way again. So that's a big reason why I'm having this call, is how can we have a run without it being completely crazy at the end of the month? It's always a little bit crazy. Or what I like to say, a little bit fun, very, very fun. So some people here know that feeling of being on a run. It's very bonding with your team. If you are committed to achieving this goal this month, what that looks like is being in consistent contact with your upline. So that would be the difference between I'm working my business, but you're not necessarily on a run, is a week goes by and you've not been in touch with your upline. That's a good indicator. If you're wait, I'm wanting to be on a run, but I haven't even plugged in a week, that's a good time to get replugged in. You can always get replugged in, but this is a process of checking in, being in touch, being accountable, staying on track. And it's really deeply, it can be really deeply community building. So last month, I remember being on a call with Lisa and Dana and Mary, and it was a, quote unquote business check-in, but the kinds of things, and maybe it was 2 months ago, I'm not sure, but the kind of depth that we were sharing with each other about our personal lives and the ways that we were connecting with each other was just pure friendship, pure sisterhood, the kinds of things that I know I'm seen and that we see each other in this really deeper way, that beyond Purium, beyond business, beyond any of that, when we go through the highs and lows of life, we've got each other's backs. That's the kind of thing that can come out of a run. because we're on the edge. We're pushing ourselves in our growth edge. And that's like a very vulnerable and very powerful place to be connecting with each other. So if anybody's like, what is she talking about? You can drop an 8 in the comments. If you're like, what exactly is a run? This sounds very crazy. If you're new to that whole concept, it's just kind of like a concentrated version. And it doesn't necessarily be. It depends on like what your goals are, right? Your goal could be like, I want to be a consultant in the next few months, like a very, very like slow goal. That's fine. You're welcome to be at that pace. And when we are like kicking up that momentum and really building the kind of momentum and team that gets us to that residual income sooner and helping other people get there, it can be more of this really amplified, exciting energy. So that's a little bit about, and maybe you felt that over the last couple of days. So drop a 9 in the comments if you felt that, like, oh my gosh, like I'm getting reconnected with my goals. I'm feeling more excited. I'm feeling more committed. I'm feeling more of what it means to ask something of myself, to step into the person who, to not only have a dream, but to realize for me to achieve that dream, I have to step into the person who's capable of manifesting that dream and living that dream. You know, it isn't just like have a dream and then still stay down here. Like there's no, you know, you have to like grow, and that's hard and uncomfortable. And so, yeah, so you guys have been feeling that. We're so exciting. We created this like energy vortex, and then Fridays are a little bit of a mini run every week, because for those of us who are setting a goal of hitting a UBT. So go ahead and drop a 10 in the comments if you are actively running to hit UBT this week. And let's see who that is. And if you already have one UBT enrollee, so somebody who got a brand partnership this week with a smart order since starting Saturday morning, the cutoff for that. All right, Erica's hitting it today. And I'm going to drop a 10 as well. And awesome. So yeah, Erica's like, UBT rocks my world. It is so amazing what a super turbo boost UBT does for your monthly run, to have those extra 500 points just like show up in your back office. And then if you have people on your team who are doing that, you get another one, and you know, and it goes up and up. So the cutoff for tonight is midnight Central for UBT. So here's the real treasure of running for a UBT. Guess what? It isn't actually the 500 points. So you can just like release that stress of like, oh my gosh, what if I don't get it? I'm a failure. These are the emotions we get to work through in this business. And I'm right there, been through all of it, right there with you, still go through it. It's actually right at that moment where you're about to experience the anxiety, or you already are, that you get to have the breakthrough. So if you're in that moment, instead of being scared of it and disappearing and shutting down into oblivion, which maybe you've done your whole life, it's an opportunity to be like, oh, this is the work. Here I am. I've arrived. Like this is, I've achieved a certain goal. I'm in the zone. It's so uncomfortable. And then, you know, use whatever tools you have. You know, we've all gotten to this place because of whatever personal development, self-healing, you know, meditation, yoga, whatever our tools are. And we have our uplines. We can reach up and just be like, it's okay. I've done it. This is how I've gotten to where I am. So that's the work. And I've done that many runs. I've gotten to like, oh my gosh, I don't think this is going to happen. And I do the inner work and I move through it. A lot of times you have to move energy physically in the body to get back in the body and out of that head where you have the loop going. And if you're not like an anxiety person and you're like, okay, no, I'm fine. Congratulations. Many of us have to deal with all these emotions. And I just saw Chelsea say that's where I get stuck. So that's my experience of where I get stuck. Like, I'm like, oh, it's not going to happen. But what I want to say is that being on a run for a UBT, like you might be today, or you might say, I actually haven't been on a run for UBT, but why not? There's still several hours in the day to hit it. And many people have hit a UBT in one day. It's possible. It's absolutely possible. We heard from Christina on Wednesday. She hit Fast Start Director in 24 hours. And it was, part of it was getting a UBT and helping somebody else to start sharing. So these things are absolutely possible. And the real treasure, if you make a decision, yeah, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to get into action. I'm going to get my list out. I'm going to get my tracker. I'm going to get into a time block and start sending messages, that is actually the treasure. Getting yourself into action and having the experience of reaching out, developing fluency with this, developing confidence with this, developing the feedback mechanism of like, oh yeah, that felt really good to send out, or oh, that didn't feel so good, and getting that that learning of how we actually message. Like, you can be on all the trainings you want, but it's not going to click until you start to have your own experiences. And it won't even click until you have an experience of a whole time block where you get in the zone, where it's really happening. So Mary Beth Fleming right here on our last Team Mana action party 2 days ago had felt a little stagnant, and she made a post in Bliss Ohana about this and said, I'm going to break up that stagnancy. The stagnancy can we can contract, but the easiest way to get out of that, honestly, besides all the tools and the meditation and the upline support, is to get into action. Action kills fear. So Mary said, great, and I'm going to do a power hour. In 1 hour, she reached out to 50 new people, 50. So that's what's possible when we make that decision. Like, I'm just going to go for this. And so I'll get to the comments in a second. So that's actually what we get out of a run. Hitting the goal, yes, that's amazing. And of course, that's the goal. And the real treasure is what happens when we get into this momentum. How many seeds we end up planting, how much breakthrough we have around our blocks and resistances, how much confidence we grow, how many conversations we're in, how much we're opening the pathway and role modeling for other people on our team what it looks like to run and be in action. So that's all possible for anybody today who's feeling that. And I'm just going to get back to my notes here. Yeah. So let me look at some questions here, and then I just have one more thing before I open it up. Erica says, UBT is the rank advancing machine. I love that. Cool. And Melissa is running for UBT today. Mary is, Monica. So yeah, UBT is 3 brand partners with a core 4 or an ultimate lifestyle transformation. And you've heard me say it before, but I'll say it again. If you really want to work this business in the easiest and most effective way, it's more powerful to come in with a lifestyle pack and go through that transformation and have that story, because that's what you're going to end up sharing with people. Laura says the UBT is what got her to Diamond. Absolutely. UBT is absolutely what got me to Crown. It's what helped everybody who double ranked last month. And Allison echoes the same thing. Allison got 10 brand partners last month. So let's say you only get 2 UBTs today. It could be easy to be like, oh, I didn't get 3, what a failure. However, you still have a chance to like let that accumulate throughout the month and hit 10 UBTs for the month and get 1,000 points. So every step of your journey is worthwhile in many ways. Okay, so Erica's bringing in a conversation that you can have with customers, because people can also upgrade You might have somebody that you want to reach out to who did a transformation last year and say, hey, do you want to do another transformation where, we have a group transformation coming up, and I know you had such great results last year. And by the way, it happens to be free to get the ability to share this with other people right now. And I'm wondering, was there anybody that you ended up, were there people who noticed your results? Were there people you recommended this to who wanted to have same results? And if you do this again and you think there's people who would want to either do this with you or who are going to notice and want to hear about it, would you want to get paid for that referral? And sometimes I'll add or do you want me to or do you want to send them to me and I get paid? And sometimes that helps people see oh yeah, I might as well have this in my back pocket. So getting paid for referrals is a great way to speak about our gift card sharing opportunity with ease. And since it's free, yeah, it's a no-brainer for people to consider this, to just say hey, if you have great results, you're probably going to end up letting people know about it. And do you want to get paid for that? So, okay. Yeah. Erica adds 20% of her volume in May was free UBT points. So it's a really powerful tool. So on that note of who qualifies as a UBT enrollee, they definitely have to have their SMART order in place. And the SMART order can be, for anything. What I want to bring up is so here's something that some of us learned recently that we didn't know before, is that if somebody upgrades from a customer to a brand partner, if they upgrade within the last calendar month or 7 days into the next month, they can upgrade for free. They don't have to buy a new pack. They can count that pack they bought before towards the upgrade. However, the points don't roll over. So those points remain customer points, meaning if they're now a brand partner and they want to run for Fast Start Consultant or just consultant, normally when we start out as a brand partner, our pack counts towards that run. If they are going to upgrade, those points don't count as their brand partner group volume. So now that we know this is not, I don't know how we didn't know this, but now that we do, it's an opportunity to really posture ourselves as being intentional when we're sharing with people about the business. So not to just be sort of loose and sloppy about it and oh yeah, you can just get around to upgrading later on, which is something I think we got into the habit of, especially if we're running and, balls are dropping and it's kind of crazy. But now that we know that and we're all grounded and we're all here and we're all proactive, I want to bring the word proactive. Everybody who showed up here today, you are being proactive about your month. You are getting on top of it and being proactive. So we don't need to be all crazy and stressed out and dropping balls. So what that means is we can be intentional and we can have that very clear, hey, if you want to do this, and say if you think there's a chance, even as a customer, if you think there's a chance that you would want to create an income stream with this, you might as well go ahead and get this now, and your pack will count towards that. Or, and if they can get on board with that, great. Or if they really just need to have that customer experience, and have that first transformation, they can always upgrade later by getting a new pack. And I just did a connect call for somebody yesterday who she said, I came in as a customer. I was like, no, I don't want another business. I don't have time. I've already done doTERRA, blah, blah, blah. But she was like, my results were so mind-blowing. I was telling everyone. She has literally sent business to other people because she couldn't not share. So I have people on my team that she sent to other people on my team, and then was like, oh my gosh, like I should have just gotten the business from the beginning, because I was naturally sharing and literally had multiple people enroll with other people. So she was laughing at herself, but she was like, I'm so on board with this now. So she got a new pack and is ready to, rock her business now. So that just, hopefully that drop an 11 in the comments if you have a little bit more clarity on how you want to posture yourself when you're offering this free business, of just really letting people know this is a gift. If you want to come in and like, if there's any chance you want to try to build this and get your investment back in the first, couple weeks, I can show you how. Then you're going to want to do this now and have your points go towards that. And if they're just like, no way, I just need to like have my healing journey, then just trust that they'll be able to get their pack again when they're ready to do a proper upgrade and have their points count towards it. Okay, great. So that was really what I wanted to share. And now the theme of the call, the $1,000 diamond bonus. So this is specifically for anyone on this call who enrolled since March. If you enrolled in the month of March, you qualify to hit that bonus this month. UBT is going to be your best friend if you haven't even hit executive yet. It isn't a reason to say like, there's no way I haven't even hit executive. It just means like, it's an opportunity to get right into that massive action, which again, it's going to pay off, whether it's hitting it this month or beyond. You might also be on this call and have enrolled in April or May or June, and you are also qualified for this bonus with more months to go. And with this sort of theme of really getting in with the UBT and people double ranking, I just want to give props to people who are on this call who are already running for the $1,000 diamond bonus in a month earlier than your third full month. So if my question made sense, drop a 12 if that's you. If you're like, I am so rocking my momentum and my fast starts that I'm actually running for that $1,000 diamond bonus in a month, even sooner than my expiration. So Melissa Honeybee is in that category. Robin Decker, right on. Loving how both of you are showing up so strong. And I'm guessing Bailey might be in. I didn't realize it ended this month. It doesn't end this month. I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Yeah, going for it. Going for it.
Yeah, Bailey. All right. Did you want to talk about that? I see your hand is raised.
All right. Yeah, well, I was trying to like put the numbers in and then just hit the hand. Yeah, no, I'm going for it. I'm excited. I'm starting early because I need to.
Yeah, tell us more about that. Why do you need to, Bailey?
It just helps me because when it's all happening at the end of the month, it works out, but I get that extra stress that like my body doesn't need that cortisol at this point. And it just feels better to kind of whittle away at it rather than have it be like a heavy experience.
Yeah. Yeah, right on. If you can relate to what Bailey just said and are also on that, like, can we have the like less adrenaline, less cortisol experience of a run? Drop a 13 in the comments. I want to give like a special shout out to Mary Beth Fleming, who we should really bring her on to do a training for us because she's amazing and has shown me the fine art of being very calculated, very strategic, very organized, very proactive, and able to hit goals before the end of the month because she's had to, just like Bailey said, like, because number one, for our own nervous system, and number two, like for things like I have to move in the last 2 days. I think Mary's had to move twice in the last couple days of the month and has had to hit goals. And so, Mary, are you inspired to come on and share anything about that? Because you really, like, I just honor you so much. I learned so much from you about how clear you are in your vision and how focused and strategic and how knowledgeable you are about the numbers in the back office and all of this.
Yeah, I'll hop on for a second. Thank you, Christina. And I learned so much from you also. But yeah, I think it really comes down to what I do is I literally set daily goals, weekly goals, like mid-month goals and end of the month goals. And the reason I do that is because I like to take it off in bite-sized pieces. So it's really, for me, I think one of the best things you can do for your business, especially if you're going on a diamond run, is learn your back office. And to be honest, how I learned the back office was just going in there and kind of playing with it and just, oh, what is this tab? And what does that mean? And oh, look at these numbers. And especially if you go in every day, like Christina was saying, knowing your numbers in the morning and at night, you can see how the numbers start to change. And for me, what's been a huge benefit is whenever I'm not sure where to direct my energy or what to do or who to support, I just go in and look at the numbers and I see how the numbers are changing, and whatever numbers are changing and increasing, I'm like, oh, those people are in action. That's who I'm going to work with. Or, you know, you can go in there and see how close you are to reaching a K club, or see how close the people on your team are to reaching a K club. And that can really help you support them and say, hey, you're only $50 away from getting a $50 bonus. How can I help you get that? Or, you know, it's really a great navigation. And for me, like, I just break down the numbers every single day. And it was really exciting to me to see Rita last month. This is the first time I've really seen her like get into the number pieces. And Bailey, that's a huge part of why she was able to help you hit executive and Lindsay's, because she was just going in there and running the numbers every time they would change. So, you know, if you're going for a goal of 6,000 points, at the end of the day, subtract what maybe you are at 200 points. So you're like, okay, I got, you know, 5,800 points to go. Then how many more points do you have to go the next day? And you just keep track of that. And it makes it a lot more accessible because you can track your pace. You can actually see how much movement you're doing each day. And then you can actually break it down and say, okay, I haven't been doing a lot. So what do I need to do to get there? Is it 200 points a day? Is it, I mean, in Christina and I's cases, it's a lot of points. It's like sometimes it can be like 5,000 points a day you need. So, but it really helps when you take it down to that bite-sized piece. And for me, setting these mid-month goals of like this month, I was really determined to hit green diamond by today, and it happened. And it really is just because I set that goal and I know exactly what I want to go for 2 weeks into the month, rather than just thinking about this huge goal at the end of the month. It kind of breaks it up and is like, well, if I want to get there by the end of the month, then I need to be here by halfway into the month. And that makes it more easeful and not as stressful. So I would absolutely love to do a training sometime on the back office and kind of get in detail. But for the time being, you know, just go in there and start looking at your numbers. Know how many points you're bringing in a day. Know how many points the key players on your team are bringing in a day. And just work with the numbers that are changing. Work with those people and work with reaching your small goals to hit your big goals.
Awesome. Yeah. So that is literally what changed my business as well. When I came in, the back office was intimidating. Numbers were intimidating. I didn't know what to do. I avoided it. I really had never paid attention to the compensation plan or rank goals or any of that stuff. I let Monica, she kind of enabled me to be like ignorant in that realm. I was always like, I don't know. Can you just tell me where I'm at? Monica's also my upline on this call, and she's a really just the back office queen, we call her. She's really good. So if you are like, I could really use support in learning how to do that, you know, we can either do like a pop-up back office training, or, you know, just ask to get on a coaching call. If you haven't met Monica, I would love to support you to get on a call with her and have that connection. And then, you know, it's just like another layer of support. You want to pop on and say anything on this conversation so far, Mana?
Yeah, I mean, hi everyone. Good to see you all today, this morning here in Kauai. And yeah, I mean, it's the UBT. I mean, everything you're sharing, everything that everyone's bringing in, diving into the back office. I mean, there's so many layers, and if we're brand new, and even when we're not brand new, it can be a lot, and it can feel like a lot. And I just want to invite you all, like, again, whether you've been here or you're brand new, just to lean in a little bit, because a lot of this will just become second language. And just the evolution of everything that's happened over even the 4 years, I can choose to like stand in that posture of like, oh my God, everything's constantly changing, and how do I grasp onto these new things? Or just stay open to, just like anything, when we're going to school, it just really starts settling in. And especially with the UBTs and things like that, getting 3 people, if we've been around for a while, maybe it feels like, how am I ever going to get those 3 UBTs? But I just really love how, when we really just ground into our why and ground into our action steps, it's really not that hard. A lot of it's like we tend to, and when I say we, I'm really saying me, because I know we're all different people, yet we can all kind of have similarities with the way we are. But like we can tend to be overwhelmed by all the things and all the action steps, and how am I ever going to do that? And we stay in that story. We stay in that story of how it's been, how we are. And the beautiful thing about this process here with Purium, and just even with our evolution here as amazing souls on this planet, is that we can step into this new place. And a lot of it's just really try to stay open to what it is that your upline is sharing with you, what the leaders are doing, like, and follow in the footsteps, to try to be more coachable. Like some of us maybe are, some of us maybe we have our ways that we love to do things, but if we can just open up and lean in a little bit, things like the UBT, I mean, I'm seeing it. Some of you guys are blowing me away, and it's showing me even like what is possible when we just step into that yes, really that yes frequency of that, this is possible for me. And if we stay in that comfort zone of like, or in that mindset of like, I don't know, how am I going to actually make that happen? We're perpetuating, we're feeding that energy, so what is the energy that we're wanting to feed in these times, right? In general, like in our lives, in our evolution, with our families, with the planet, with everything that's going on, with our business and our mindset, what are we wanting to feed, and what are we choosing to feed? So sometimes things just naturally flow a little easier in moments, and I get that too. There's an ebb and flow and a season and things that happen, but just keep trying to lean in and stay into that yes of the UBT. Again, like Christina said, you don't need those 500 extra points, or even the 3,000 in the end. We didn't have that, we didn't have that up until recently, and people were still growing and getting to their goals. But the fact that we have it is really amazing. And I'm witnessing, it's not just something we have that nobody's leaning into or making happen. It's happening. And even for me last month, like there's even times, as someone who's been around for 4 years, just to be honest, there's moments maybe I don't sign anybody up new that month, like no new brand partners, no customers. And it's amazing when you just make the decision to do it. It's really not that hard to do it. So last month, even there was, when we had the 10,000 or the 1,000 extra points, I know I shared this the other day, but I signed up 3 new brand partners in like 3 days, and I know some people do that even in a day sometimes. So like Christina said, like it's just about stepping in the frequency of yes, not like, and this is me, like how I've been a lot in the past, and what I'm learning to like that power of decision. In the past, it's been like, well, I'm open. Like if I get somebody and they answer my, they comment on my post I made, or I'm open to get director this month. It's great. That's a step, right? To be open and to be that channel, but to make a decision is such a powerful thing, So again, whether you've been around,
pause you right there.
Yes.
Making a decision. So we have that piece. We have that awesome step of making the decision, and now we're going to couple it with what exactly are the steps after we've made that decision. And everybody here has made a decision. You took steps to be here, so we're all in that place. And now I would love to thank you so much for that, Monica. And I would love to, I wonder if Robin Decker is still on the call. I want to do a little live coaching to help everybody see how you chunk down a rank achievement. Are you still here, Robin?
Hey. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Okay, great. So this is how, and I want to show you guys really quickly. This is my whiteboard here. And if you don't have a whiteboard, that's okay. If you want to use it on paper, but we're going to show you how to take your goal and basically translate it into exactly how many packs that's going to be. Because that's like, oh, 6 packs. Okay, great. Are they coming from me? Are they coming from this person in my organization? Are they coming from here? How many core 4s would that be? How many ultimate lifestyle transformations? How many ultimate lifestyle transformations with a business? And you get to see, and then it's all of a sudden like, okay, it's just like 6 people getting a transformation. Great, let's go. It can be really energizing when you see how doable it is. So Robin, thanks for being my volunteer here. Do you know right now, or do you have the ability to look in your back office and see where your points are currently?
Yes.
Awesome.
I was just looking at it. So yeah, I'm looking at it. What do you want to know?
So your GV right now, current GV.
I guess 1105. Is that right?
I don't know. I thought it was 14 something, but you're looking under the GV column.
So I'm looking at the dashboard. Should I look somewhere else?
No, that's fine. It says GV 1105.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So 1105. And what's your goal for the month?
So I think, let me look at my sheet. Hold on. I say, oh, you know what? When I filled this out, I had no idea what that meant. So there's nothing there.
But on the last call, I did see you declare a goal on Wednesday's call.
So I declared I would be executive. Yeah. So I had no idea. I have no idea what that means. So I'm at my next rank is director. I made consultant today.
Congratulations.
And thank you. And yeah, so my goal is executive. And I don't know what that means as far as gross volume. So you'll have to forgive me.
Perfect. Do you have a calculator? It's 6,000 points.
Okay.
So you are going to, you're going to take 6,000 minus 1105. So you're going to take, so everybody can do this. You can take
48.95
month group volume goal, and then find out what your points are right now and subtract your points right now from where they need, where they're going to be at the end of the month. Okay, so what was your total that you got from that?
So I need 48.95. You said 6,000 minus 1105, right?
Yeah, 48.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's how many points are going to come in. And now what you're going to do is divide that by, go ahead and divide it by 270.
Okay. All right, it's 18.2, 18.1.
Okay, so what Robin's now done is taken the amount of points she still needs to get for the rest of the month and divided it by the most common way to get started, which is an ultimate lifestyle transformation with a business. So this is just like a template. If she had 18 people come into her organization with that pack, she'll be at executive. Now those people can come in through her, or they can come in through another brand partner in her organization. The points are going to be the same towards her goal. So, for somebody, Robin just got started last month. Is that right?
End of March, yeah.
End of March, okay.
I'm sorry, end of May, sorry.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So pretty brand new. So 18 packs might be like, whoa, holy moly. 18 packs. That's a lot of brand partners. And again, we saw Allison enrolled 10 brand partners last month. So it's possible that half of it come from you. And this is where we are going to look at team building and duplication bringing in a UBT, having 3 brand people get started, you know, and sharing right away, and duplication. That's how that looks. So, so that's one way of looking at how it works. Is taking, and you can also do the same equation. Everybody here can do the same equation. First of all, we can redo numbers here. Drop a 6 if you're following me, and drop a 7 if you're like, where are we going here? And I'll make sure that everybody is on board. Okay, so we got some 6s. That's a good sign. And so it's looking at how many packs, and then like Mary said, setting little goals. Like we might say, I am going to enroll 3 brand partners today as a goal. And then next week, I'm going to enroll 3 brand partners as a goal. And I'm going to support my new brand partners to start sharing next week. And maybe one of them will hit a UBT. So we can set these little mini goals like that. And then that's starting to look at like where those packs are coming from. Awesome, no 7. So everybody's on board with that. So another thing, 6 to 7. Okay, Merit. So yeah, we can also work on this outside this call. The other, what do we divide by? So we take our total. So Camille, what rank are you running for this month? Also executive.
I'm running for executive, and I'm almost in the exact situation as
Robin.
Yeah, I've got 1,144 points right now.
Great. And both of you started really similar times. So congratulations for being consultant to both of you, and on track to double rank to executive. So you are going to take your total 6,000 minus what you have. And then that total, you're going to divide by, and I just said 270 because that's the most common pack that people get, the ULT with a business. You can on your whiteboard or your sheet where you're tracking this stuff, you can also say, in order to hit my goal, it's going to be 18 UBTs, or you could also divide it by 220 and say this is how many just transformation customers it would be. Then it would be more. But that would give you an idea, because some people are going to be customers, some are going to be brand partners. And if you're somebody who shares core 4s, you could divide by that and see how many core 4s would this be. And then you can start to like piece the puzzle together. Okay, I had one more really useful equation, but it escaped me. So if I think of it, I'll let you know. Yeah. So you can take the amount that you have. So Robin had 4,000 something, and she could divide that by the amount of days left in the month, which would be $19. Okay, so you could take $48.95 divided by 19. Well, I'm counting today as a day. In Hawaii, it's still a full day. So 19, there's still plenty of time in today. And then what do you get, Robin, when you divide $48.95 by 19? Okay, 258. So that would be like 258 points a day, which again can be like, oh my gosh, like how can I possibly bring in that many points a day? This as you bring in brand partners who are sharing, that's how those points start to add up quickly because they're also sharing. But that's basically, that's like a brand partner a day. Also, the UBT, this is our old formula. I'm realizing now with the UBT, you're getting all these free points here and there. So that really changes these numbers. And that's why updating these numbers each day is really useful. So ideally, after today, Robin has another 500 points in addition to the points from the pit packs that come in to get there. So at that point, you might be super duper close to director, which Robin almost hit at the end of last month, but was just shy of it, if I'm remembering correctly. So does anybody have any questions about that process, that equation, or how you can use that to help you be present with your progress? Very helpful. Excellent. I'm so glad that's helpful. There is one other equation. I don't want to get like too, if anybody wants like the bonus equation, you can private message me. It's like, it's a way to like see where your pace is so far. Like it's a way to see, oh, I'm right now, am I on pace to hit, in the work that I've been doing thus far in the month, am I on pace to hit my goal? And if not, we can be like, okay, time to step it up. So Rita, do you want to come on and share your equation?
Yes.
Awesome.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. Thanks for being here.
So one that I really love to use is the UBT bonus equation. And so my goal, and I'm going to be running for this as well, again, it's just like creating that momentum and that idea and that alignment with it, is going for hitting 2 UBTs this month. So that would be 3 brand partners from Friday to Saturday, and then another 3 brand partners from Friday to Saturday. So that's 6 brand partners with the UBT. So that's 270 points times 6 brand partners. Plus you get the 1,000 extra UBT points because you get 500 per 3 brand partners in a week. So that brings it up to 2620 additional points. And then I really like to bring in who are my top running people and help them get to their next goal. So who's running for director, or, you know, who can get there, and maybe they're not even running yet, but just asking and seeing if they want to, and really support them because they may not know it's an option. So that's another 2,500 points, you know. So when you kind of start thinking in who you can help rank, you know, or if you have 6 of those, you know, of those 6 fast start or new UBT, you know, brand partners, who of them can you help get to fast start director, or who of them can you help get to fast start consultant? So if they get to fast start consultant, that's another 1,000 points that you can calculate in, and just seeing where everyone's at, you know, it's an individual journey. And then with the director, again, just supporting, and that's an additional 2,500 points. So if you have 2 people hit fast start director, that's an additional 5,000 points. So all of a sudden your goals get closer and closer and closer.
Perfect. Thank you. And some of you might be like, what is she talking about? And that's okay. You know, like this call, people are in all different places, and these things will sink in as they're relevant to you. And it gives you a little bit, like, I think the biggest takeaway, if these exact numbers are relevant to you, awesome. And as a concept, the idea that by getting UBTs and supporting other people to get UBTs, people are hitting ranks faster than ever before. And that's where it just starts to add up. And when that is happening, that's where it becomes less overwhelming of like, how am I actually going to make this happen? So again, like if you're the kind of person where your emotions make this business hard, which might be most people, the UBT is the easiest way to like get over that and get out of that trap of discouragement and into that place of like excitement and encouragement. Like, oh yeah, this is happening. There's points on the board. People are ranking. So how do you get the UBT, right? You might be sitting there being like, yeah, great goal, you know, and I am going to let you go so you can get into action. But the easiest way to get the UBT is to literally just sit down and do the thing that we're always talking about, is having conversations with people. Mary said it right there. Reach out to 50 people in an hour. If that's you. Leslie Zann says it like this. She says, whenever anybody asks me, how many people do I need to be talking to hit my goal? And she always says the same thing. More people than you're talking to now. So meaning like I couldn't sit here and tell you exactly, but you can take that, you can take the fact that Mary was able to talk to 50 people in an hour. You can look at, well, last time I did a 90-minute time block, I talked to 10 people and say, can I double that? You know, or maybe I want to be Mary today and I want to see what it would be like to open 50 conversations. Yeah, exactly. It's totally possible. Carrie Tidwell, I'm going to bring in her story again. I don't know if you're on this call, Carrie, and if you are, you need to help me like correct my numbers, because I feel like I've told this story so many times. I'm not sure if I have the right numbers, or if anybody knows the exact numbers, put it in the chat. But when Carrie Tidwell got started, she reached out to everyone she knew and said, I'm getting ready to do this transformation. Do you want to be my accountability buddy? And I want to say she had like 129 people say yes. And she triple ranked to executive in 17 days. All fast start bonuses, all double bonuses. Like, what an amazing story. If you were on Tuesday's call with Leslie Zann, I loved what Seema said. Create a story for yourself in your first 90 days. Create an epic story, especially if you've had a history of like not achieving goals or staying stagnant or playing small or, you know, settling for less. This is an opportunity for you to create a story, even if it sounds insane. Like you're like, what? Mary's just reached out to 50 people. Create that story for yourself. You know, just do it. Like you're rewiring pathways in your consciousness. Like you're going in there in like space and time and like gutting and changing the course of history because you're creating a new story from like where the trajectory of your life may have been. Thank you, Lisa. She's putting language in there for people who want like a little prompt or the beginnings of a script that you can make for your own. And come to the Wednesday calls. That's where we do a lot of that. Okay, I know that we're beyond the hour, and I really want to let anybody else who wants to say anything or ask anything come on, and then we're gonna close it out. And if you need to go and get into action, feel free, of course. But if anybody else wants to share your voice, your wisdom, or your question, please. Or even a declaration, if you just want to like share your voice to let that sound.
I am declaring presence here in my yes, and noticing that, you know, I just had a 40th birthday and there's an opportunity to just duck out and slide away a little longer and lose traction. But you know what? I put my 5-toed shoes on, the little grippy ones today. I'm ready to grab on again. I'm embodying like a morning of exercise and like I'm saying yes to myself. So just taking the steps to not fall back into my old patterns and continue to show up, because I know my why is so freaking worthy. And I love you all. Thank you for this container of accountability. Thank you, Christina, for leading this call. And I'm I'm so excited for us. When I feel low, I lean in to this container and I feel uplifted. And so that's just so key in everything to getting through these blocks, because yeah, we're doing deep work here. Like, I'm personally noticing my blocks. I just went diamond last month. I ranked, double ranked. I freaking pulled in 10 brand partners, and I'm noticing now, like, oh, I did that. Okay, I'm done. And it's like, no, Allison, you're not done. Get back out there. So, hello. I love you guys.
Thank you, Allison. And I really love that you brought in that point of accountability. And I want to offer a couple of things to this group. There's two really great ways to do accountability. One is you have an upline thread. And every day, I want to shout out, Lisa's done this. I know other people here have done this. You're on that thread saying, here's how many people I reached out to today. Here's how many people I followed up with. Obviously, our tracker sheet is the ultimate accountability system, and we post it every Sunday. But if you need that daily, like, I need a place to like put my daily action and be seen by other people, you can do that with your upline. Or get with somebody in this group. Look around, even if it's cross team, or better yet, if it's cross team, and pick someone that you want to be your accountability buddy. Typically, it's somebody that is in a similar place points wise as you and is going for a same rank. Last convention, last July, Robin Tala and I became accountability buddies. And at the time, he was like way beyond me. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so bold of me. I'm like trying to be accountability buddies with Robin Tala. I don't even know who asked to. It was like going to the prom or something. But we have been on a steady, similar pace that whole year and checking in with each other. We did 2 live events together, Colorado and Hawaii, since then. And it was really helpful to like just have that, we every once in a while get a message like, hey, where are your points at? What's your pace? He's, you know what, I will put in the Team Mana thread, I'll put he's such a numbers geek, and he has all of like the ways that he keeps track of himself. So it actually taught me a lot about like what to pay attention to. But those are the two things, like do an upline thread or get with somebody here, and definitely commit to posting your Sunday tracker. Rita's asking about my pace equation. So for some of you, it's going to go over your head, and that's totally fine. Honestly, I didn't really get into this until a couple months ago. But for those of you who want it, here it is. Total points of where you're at today times the amount of days that have gone by. Divided by total points in the month. That will show you your pace. Somebody wants to type that. Today's GV divided by 11 times 30. That's your pace. Okay, I have another call in 2 minutes. Any last shares or questions? Okay, sounds like everybody knows what to do. I'm super excited. Come to me for pop-ups, smaller pop-ups for your teams. Any new people who need to get like plugged in and dialed into these systems, like drop a 2 in the comments if you're like, I get it, the systems, these nitty-gritty details, but like how if you're impeccable with your system, you're going to duplicate and get into that residual. So if anybody's having that like awareness of the power of these simple systems and why it's worth following, right on. Great. Well, thank you everybody who took the time. Thank you for showing up for yourselves. And let's keep it going for a really powerful, amazing month. I'm super excited to watch people rank and make dreams come true for your families, for your communities, for the world at large that needs all of us and all of our light right now. Mahalo. And thank you to all
Thank you.
too for your input and everybody. Yeah. Thank you, Lindsay.